Alright gamers, it is finally time. Narrowbar Palace releases in less than 1 week, and it's time for the first news report of the War Within. Now I'm going to be talking really quickly during this video, so if it's too fast for you, just go ahead and slow the video down. Let's get straight into the schedule for next week. It's pretty simple. We're going to be doing our normal schedule Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. CST, and then we're also going to have a Mythic Strat meeting on Sunday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. This is optional for you to participate in, but recommended so that you can go ahead and ask questions, though if you're unable to participate, there will be a recording posted to YouTube. Then on Monday, we will have a potential overtime raid if we're unable to kill Ansarek on Thursday. Hopefully it'll only take us an hour or so. Now let's go on to this week's checklist. You should do your weeklies for your keys. Don't spend them yet as we haven't unlocked the tier 8 Bountiful Delves. You want to go ahead and craft your full 590 gear, and you need to prep for raid by reviewing the strategies inside of the raid strategies forum on our Discord. Make sure that you're not only prepping for the later bosses, but also giving the same amount of respect to the early bosses. Reminder of how little gear we're going into the raid with. Anything can kill you if you don't understand the mechanics. Even the early bosses, their mechanics will one-shot you because you don't have the gear to back it up. We're going to be severely under-geared going into Heroic, so just keep that in mind. Now, what are you going to see inside of those raid strategies posts? Well, I've solved the fish climbing the tree issue by giving you every form of content that you could have. We have the cheat sheets, video guides, and text summaries available for you. There are also going to be raid plans for any boss that it's applicable to. Please make sure no matter what you decide to use, you do look at the raid plans, as they are going to have the information for our particular strat that is necessary for us to kill that boss efficiently. Now, I would recommend using multiple of the cheat sheets, video guides, and text summary, whether that is the text summary and the cheat sheet or the text summary and the video guide, to make sure that you fully comprehend what's going on in the boss and get multiple perspectives. Now, let's talk about what you need to do on Heroic launch. Before raid, you need to spam the Waterworks delve as long as it's not bountiful. If it is bountiful, then you need to spam Techrathon Abyss. The reason why you're doing those is that it's the quickest delve for you to do to unlock tier 8 delves. Once tier 8 is unlocked, you need to spam bountiful delves and use all of your keys to collect that sweet, sweet gear. Then, if time permits, which I don't imagine it will for most of you, we can do M0s before raid. Now, the M0s are way less important than the delves. The delves take a huge amount of priority over M0s, so just try and get those done really. And then all week, you do your M0s daily, as they are a daily lockout. Now, what is the schedule for week 1? Well, on Tuesday, we're going to be full clearing normal and then clearing as much of Heroic as possible. On Wednesday, we're going to go ahead and continue our Heroic clear, and then on Thursday, we're going to attempt to kill Heroic Ansarek. I will know by that time if Heroic Ansarek appears to be killable. If she is, then I will go ahead and let you know that we will be trying to extend by up to 1 hour to go ahead and kill Ansarek, pending tuning. Now, if tuning looks a little bit harder, then we will wait until Monday and do an overtime raid where we have more gear from M0s to go ahead and go for that Ansarek kill if she appears to be killable. Now, let's talk loot distribution. There's a full explanation of our loot distribution strategy inside of the raid strat sections pinned at the top, but loot is a tool to kill bosses. Loot is not distributed fairly. The system is not built to be fair, but instead it is built to give us the most benefit towards killing bosses. We do that so that we are using loot as a tool as it is meant to be used. It doesn't matter what your personal item level is, it matters how much the gear is helping us towards actually getting those kills. If you have questions on the loot distribution strategy, feel free to ask. Now, let's talk required add-ons, weak auras, and Warcraft Recorder. For add-ons this tier, we're going to be using MRT, weak auras, RC Loot Council, and preferably bigwigs, but DBM does also work. It's just a little bit more annoying to set up with a few different weak auras as how it interacts with it. Then for weak auras, we're going to be using Northern Skies Narrowbar Pack, which will be linked in guild info whenever it becomes available. Then we're also going to be using Warcraft Recorder Pro. Now, Warcraft Recorder Pro is not being hard acquired, but doing so greatly helps the team, and I really feel as though you should try and be helpful. Now, a guide to setting up Warcraft Recorder Pro is also at the bottom of guild info. So, we have a lot of money in the guild bank. What are we going to be using that money for? Well, we're going to be providing all of you crafts, enchants, and consumables. If you need gold for any of those, ping the officers in the gold request channel, which will be unlocked on the Tuesday reset, and an officer will either deny your request if it's unreasonable, or give you whatever you need to get that. Now, your pre-raid to-do list is pretty simple. You need to review the raid strategies for all of the bosses. You need to install MRT, RC Loot Council, weak auras, and bigwigs, or DBM, and then set up your Warcraft Recorder Pro, install the Northern Sky Narrowbar Pack upon release in the Guild Info tab, and get to item level 590. Then on Tuesday, you need to quickly grind up to tier 8 delves by spamming the Waterworks or Techrathon Abyss, then complete all of your bountiful delves and use all of your keys before raid. Then, and only then, you need to upload your WoWaudit wishlist. There's a guide on how to do that inside of guild info. Make sure you do that. If you do not upload your WoWaudit wishlist, you will not get loot. Then, finally, weekly reviews. They're back. Hooray! You should get a little ping inside of your analyst thread channel to remind you of where it is, as well as to go ahead and let you know who your analyst will be for this tier. That's all I've got, and it's now up to us to try and get as close as we can up those world rankings.